Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Aaron, your member experience manager in Waupun. I am with the notorious Justin Copeland. Today I wanted to sit down and talk with Justin a little bit about his fitness journey. He's had an incredible transformation in the last couple of years.
3 years. Yeah.
3 years. So in 2017,
Yeah.
tell everybody a little bit, when you first got started within your fitness journey, what'd you look like?
I was big, 293 pounds,
And then today you're sitting at?
about 213.
So that's a difference of about 80 pounds. Of all the people I know in this gym, since I've been here for about 3 years, this guy puts in a lot of work.
Oh yeah.
And clearly you can tell by his build, he's definitely done a great job at transforming his body from where he was then to now. So a little bit about your mindset when you started this journey. What got you so involved with fitness and like working out?
Well, I looked in the mirror and I wasn't happy with what I saw, and then basically like I started at Planet Fitness, which is funny because like nobody goes to Planet Fitness, and like even though they only go up to 75 pounds, you still put in work.
Nope.
So like seeing people there, I mean there were big people there, and they only had 75-pound dumbbells to work with. So if they could do it, I could do it. That's what changed everything.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So what are you currently like working towards?
Right now we're doing a 6-week challenge.
So he's doing the 6-week challenge.
Yeah.
For you not familiar out there about that 6-week challenge, you're in both categories?
No, I'm
Or just
3% body loss.
Okay,
or body
so
fat loss.
we have two different competitive divisions, body fat percent loss and muscle gain. You feeling pretty confident right now?
Yeah, I mean, we did it last week, me and Kelsey, and I was what, 219, 218?
Yeah, you were up there a little bit.
So I lost 6 pounds in a week. I'm set.
My money's on Justin.
Yeah.
You know, he's the hardest working individual. You just did a workout before this interview, right?
Yeah, at noon.
And then you were doing some stuff in the back room?
Yeah, I was doing back and triceps. I was falling asleep at home. I don't want to miss this.
All right, so I'm going to talk about a little bit going back a couple of years. All right, when you first started, all right,
Yeah.
what was your mindset on, like, you knew it was going to be tough, right?
Yeah.
To be able to change your entire life.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about what was your lifestyle like before you started this journey?
I'd just go to work all day and then come home and play video games and then go to work again.
How'd you feel?
Like shit.
All right, we're going to bleep that, just kidding. Like, did you have more energy back then versus now?
Oh no, I was a slug.
You
I
were a
would move slow. Like once I found the nutrition aspect of everything and started going with that, like you are what you eat. So if you eat good, you're gonna feel good, and that's gonna carry over. Like if you eat a pizza, you're gonna feel like a pizza. Sluggish, doughish, like that's how it is.
Were you tracking your intake back then?
I don't track anything. Still to this day, I don't track anything.
So tell people a little bit about how you, with your overall nutrition, what does it look like now versus then?
Well, then I didn't really have the whole concept of nutrition. So I would eat like 8 eggs or something like that just to hold me over through the day, and then chicken and broccoli and this and that. And like now I actually know like the concept of what works for me. So I basically eat the same meals every day. Like every night we have quesadillas for dinner and broccoli. Like it's the same meals every day. Like some people say it sucks, which it does, but like I'm not afraid to eat a pizza either, because I know I'm just gonna go right back to where I'm at.
Yep.
So that's the biggest thing.
So with your like overall nutrition, so you've made some tweaks with that.
Oh yeah.
What has been the hardest part about like getting to where you are now?
Cardio.
Tell me a little bit more about that.
I hate cardio. I literally have to force myself to get on a treadmill.
So do you do any cardio right now?
30 minutes a day. Yeah.
30 minutes a day. So you still force yourself to do it.
Yeah.
All right. So the treadmill is like not your favorite.
Well, the funny thing is, like me and Kelsey, we have a treadmill. Like our sofa's right here, and our treadmill's right here. So it's literally in our front room. So if I can sit on my butt and watch TV all day, I can do cardio.
Okay. All right. So it's pretty evident that you like strength training. Would you agree with that?
Oh yeah.
All right. What are some of your routines looking like right now versus what they used to look like?
Well, we actually do the same. We do the same programs, just different weight. Like right now, we're doing lower accessory, lower heavy,
Okay.
upper heavy, lower, or upper accessory, and then we usually take a rest day. I don't ever take those. That's a different story. But like before, I would just do arm or chest and triceps, back and biceps, shoulders with probably arms, leg day. Now we do leg day twice a week.
Okay, so to kind of explain that to people watching this, so would you call that like split routines?
Yeah.
Like
most
one day
definitely.
lower, one day upper?
Yeah.
And then because you work out how many times a week?
I usually 7 days a week.
Like 7 days a week. Obviously, would you say some days are a little bit more intense than others just for recovery purposes?
Oh yeah. I mean, like if we do a lower accessory or a lower heavy, and we do our upper accessory the next day, and then like our legs aren't feeling it, we'll just throw in an arm day or something.
Okay, so you have a pretty good balance within your structured program then? So do you follow a structured program, or is it based on what you've learned over the course of the last couple of years?
I mean, there's some type of structure to it, but for the most part, Kelsey just makes it, I lift it, type thing.
So Kelsey is,
My girlfriend?
so people out there might not know that. So biggest thing with them, they've really been pushing each other for the last couple of years, and she's seen great progress with working with you. And you know, it's great when you have a partner to work with because you're going to work harder.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's been almost like 2 years now, so.
You guys have been crushing it.
Yeah.
All right, so I want to talk about something I talk to everybody about, and I call them the 5 pillars to be successful.
Yeah.
So in the last 3 years, you've been very successful within your fitness and wellness game,
Yeah.
right? And I just want to make it very evident to people that you need all of these in order to see results, and you've clearly seen results.
Yeah.
All right. So I just asked. So the 5 are consistency, intensity, variety, programming, and nutrition. Okay. So we touched a little bit on your consistency. So 7 days a week.
Yeah.
What's on a bad week? How many times are you getting in?
At least 5.
Okay, so when I talk to people out there, I recommend 3 if you're just getting started,
Yeah.
because it's something that's tangible and realistic. Obviously, over the course of time, you've built up to your level of fitness now.
Yeah. Yeah, if you start the gym and you're going more than 3 times a week, you're not doing it right. Your intensity is not there.
Yeah, and obviously with different programs, depending on specific goals, obviously you're bodybuilding, so it's a little bit different than if you're training for a sport or, you know, just to feel good.
But you're definitely going to feel it after a couple days.
Yeah, so when you first got started, would you say the first couple months or month was the most challenging?
Oh yeah, I was sore all the time. Like there were days I couldn't even sit down on the toilet.
Did you have like that extra intrinsic motivation of like somebody like pushing you, or was it all inside your head to say, I gotta do this?
Yeah, it was basically I was living down in Iowa at the time.
Okay.
I was working over in Piasta at a place called Mighty M. And there was I can't even remember his name, and not to be offensive or anything, kind of bigger black guy, like he was huge. And like I saw him every day and I was like, yeah, I can't skip the gym, I gotta go. It didn't matter how sore I was or anything. He would always ask me how it was the next day, so I had to say something.
So it kind of motivated you to like work harder. That's awesome having like people in your life that just always are constantly reinforcing what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm a big guy, but this guy was huge, like huge arms, like massive.
All right, my second question revolves around intensity. You mentioned with like your current program, certain days you'll go a little bit heavier, some days will be a little bit different. How often do you lift like heavy weights throughout, like depending on the time of the year, I guess? Do you have a certain time of year that's different than others?
Not really. I mean, if it's a upper heavy or a lower heavy, I'm going heavy. Some days I'm just not feeling it, but I'm still there putting in the work, so might not be as heavy, but it's still heavy.
So it's based on how you feel and how in tune you are with how the weight's moving that day?
Yeah, I definitely listen to my body.
Good. That's extremely important, especially for injury prevention. When you already hit it on a little bit earlier, but variety. Variety is critical for somebody to see results. So meaning changing up your sets, your repetition, the amount of weight you're doing.
Yeah.
You mentioned you hate cardio, but you
Oh, yeah.
still do it.
Have to.
So within variety, you can't always just do cardio and this versus strength training. He does a balance of both, and it's worked out really well for him.
But when I started, that was my main platform. Like I would go in, I'd do an hour and a half of cardio, and I'd lift some little bit of weights, and I'd go home because I didn't know what I was doing. You don't need to do an hour of cardio a day.
No.
No.
and you learn that over the course of the time, which is great that you're constantly evolving too. Your workouts are changing quite regularly.
Oh yeah.
Programming, so that's a big one. What we've talked about, the sets, the reps, the amount of weight you're doing.
Yeah.
You mentioned in the past, like they didn't have enough bigger weights for you, and now you've advanced.
Yeah.
We might have to. We're running out of weights for you here.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't really matter how strong you are. Like if you can lift 120-pound dumbbells, good for you. Chances are you probably don't have good form. I'm sorry to break it to you.
Yeah.
Form's everything.
I was just gonna say, form is everything, especially with truly how you're gonna advance and get bigger and bigger. I'm sure people are thinking out there, are you training competitively for a bodybuilding show?
No, I have no interest in doing that.
Okay.
I don't feel like I should have to step on stage for somebody to judge who I am.
I love that.
I don't need the acceptance of anybody, so
I love it.
yeah.
All
I've been
right.
asked hundreds of times. I want no part of it.
I just wanted to clear the air with everybody out there. I actually knew that you weren't training for that, but I figured people might ask that.
No, we're going on vacation in September, so you gotta be lean for the beach.
Absolutely. We get that. All right, nutrition. We talked on that. So you don't track any of your intake.
No.
Are you more conscious of what you eat?
Yes. I don't count down to the macros, but I know what I'm putting in my system because I do it on a daily basis.
Okay.
So if you are starting to lift weights, I would advise counting your macros and figure out what works for you. But myself, I don't have to because I've done it for so long.
Yep. Do you do anything special before you start a workout and then after or during?
I mean, if I got an empty stomach, I'm going to eat because I don't want to come in here and I don't want to be one of those guys throwing up in the bathroom. It does happen.
Yep.
I don't want it.
Yeah, a lot of times what Justin's referring to is like when you come in on an empty stomach and then you work hard, it's going to lead to not feeling as great. And everybody's a little bit different what sits well with them. Me, I can't have bananas before I work out. It just doesn't sit well with my stomach. I just don't feel good.
Yeah, I gotta have food in my system. Kelsey, she can fast till 5 o'clock in the afternoon and be perfectly fine. I don't understand it. I can't do it.
Yeah, everybody's different within their own nutritional. Do you do anything like far as supplementation, like any proteins that you would recommend to anybody or that sits well with you?
Yeah, Vade Nutrition. Those little protein pods.
Okay.
You throw them in the thing, you put a little bit of water, you shake it up 2 or 3 times, it's good to go.
Do they
Well, jelly, no
taste-wise, or-
chalk, no clumps, no nothing.
Do you do any like protein bars or anything like that?
Yeah, protein bars. I have a Built bar every day, and that's because Kelsey does that whole thing where she gets them for free, and I just pick a random one.
Okay.
Those are pretty good. Supplements, I do pre-workout, no aminos, fish oil, multivitamin, water away, stuff like that.
Speaking of water, do you pump a lot of water throughout the day?
Oh yeah, probably about a gallon and a half.
And you're conscious of drinking a lot of water, right?
Yeah.
That's another big one that most people don't get enough is water. I know it sounds very simple, but if you don't have enough water, your muscles aren't going to operate as efficient as they could.
Yeah, we don't drink water. We buy those little like squeeze orange things and stuff like that. I can't stomach just water, so I gotta have some flavor, or like a diet soda for supper or something like that. But I don't drink any soda, Gatorade, none of that.
Okay.
None of the sugars or.
And clearly, like, you've had a lot of great results with what works well with you, and everybody's a little bit different, so keep that in mind. So those are the 5 key areas, and he had an answer to every single one of them, of why he's seen results. If you're missing any of those, typically what I see is consistency people lack in, and nutrition.
Yeah.
That's a tough battle. It's like, you might put in a lot of work in the gym, but eating outside is not on point, and that could suffer with results.
I think nutrition's the most important thing. Number one. Like, if I would have known what I know now 5 years ago, we'd be having a whole different. I wouldn't even fit in this camera probably. It'd be crazy.
Yeah, if we do this interview in another year, you probably won't fit in this camera anyways.
Yeah.
All right. Anything that you would like to suggest to people out there if they're just getting involved with fitness, or if they're involved with like maybe a strength training program or a weight loss program? Anything that you'd like to tell people that, you know, what you learned the hard way?
Just do it. Get in the gym. It's 1 hour a day, 45 minutes. It's for yourself. It's not for me. It's not for Aaron. It's for yourself. So, like, if I would have just stuck to, like in high school I lifted weights, if
and then I stepped away for a little bit, 5-6 years. I got up to that 300 mark where I was like 200 when I left. I wish I would have never did it. Don't be me. Learn from my mistakes. Just do it. Get to the gym. Enjoy your life. But balance it.
I love that. All right, so just out of curiosity for myself, I don't know if you have these numbers. All right, people out there might want to know this. Me with the sports performance background, I like to kind of know. All right, do you ever max out?
Max out? No.
Okay, tell me a little bit about that.
For like me, for like bench, 315 any day of the week. Deadlift, 500 pounds any day of the week. And squat, coming back from a back injury about a month and a half ago, maybe like 405, but I don't need to lift that heavy. I'm already where I want to be, and the consistency, intensity of the reps and repetitions and sets and everything else, you don't need to go heavy to get big.
I knew you'd answer that
Yeah.
way. It has nothing to do with the amount of weight you can lift, it's the quality of the movement, as you said before.
Yeah.
Especially it's gotten you the results that you put in the work for.
I mean, unless you're training to step on stage for like a strength program or what, a powerlifting competition, there's no point to it. Like, you're just ego lifting and you're gonna hurt yourself. It's
Yep.
not worth it.
You want to feel good and look good,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I want to go to work tomorrow and make money, so.
I love it.
That's how
Well, I appreciate your time. If you do you have any social media platforms that people can check you out on?
Yeah, Copeland 920_fitness, and then Facebook, Justin Copeland.
If you look at some of his before and after pictures, it's pretty incredible. From when 3 years ago you weighed,
293.
it's crazy
Yeah.
to where he is now. It's definitely incredible. It doesn't go unnoticed, his work ethic here, and I know with where he's been and where he is now, it's only going to get better and better.
And you can do it too. So.
You can absolutely do it yourself and do it for yourself. I appreciate your time and thank you very much.
No problem.
If you have questions for Justin, reach out to him on his social platforms, all
Yeah,
right?
you can hit me up anytime.
All right, appreciate it,
All right,
Justin.
no problem.
Thank you.